My lords and ladies of the Landsmeet, Tyrn Loghain would have us give up our freedoms, our traditions, out of fear. He placed us on this path, yet we should place our destiny in his hands? Must we sacrifice everything good about our nation to save it?
A fine performance, Eamon. But no one here is taken in by it. You would attempt to put a puppet on the throne, and every soul here knows it. The better question is who will pull the strings. Ah! Here we have the puppeteer. Tell us, Warden, how will the Orlesians take our nation from us? Will they deign to send their troops, or simply issue their commands through this would-be prince? How much Ferelden blood does Orlesian gold buy these days?
Some of us are curious, Loghain, about precisely what happened at Ostagar.
So, one of Kaelin's killers would dare speak of betrayal. You led our king to his death with your grandiose tales of griffins flying into battle.
The Warden speaks truly. My son was taken under cover of night. The things done to him, some of them are beyond any healer's skill.
Hal was responsible for himself. He will answer to the Maker for any wrongs committed in this life, as must we all. But you know that. You were the one who murdered him. Whatever Hal may have done, he should have been brought before the Seneschal. There is no justice in butchering a man in his home.
Selling elves? Explain this, Loghain.
This is war. Did you believe it would be like the old tales? Knights with pennants flying over battlefields where all outcomes are decided simply and with honor. War is cruel. Every soul who fought alongside Marek knows this. And in it, there are no such things as innocence, only the living and the dead, and the degrees of guilt both bear. Sacrifices were made. If they were too great, the Maker will judge me for it. But enough of this. I have a question for you, Warden. What have you done with my daughter? You took my daughter, our queen, by force, killing her guards in the process. What arts have you employed to keep her? Does she even still live?
I believe I can speak for myself. Lords and ladies of Ferelden, hear me. My father is no longer the man you know. This man is not the hero of Riverdane. This man turned his troops aside and refused to protect your king as he fought bravely against the Darkspawn. This man seized Kaelin's throne before his body was cold and locked me away so I could not reveal his treachery. I would have already been killed, if not for this Grey Warden.
So, the Warden's influence has poisoned even your mind, Anora. I wanted to protect you from this. My lords and ladies! Our land has been threatened before! It's been invaded and lost and won times beyond counting. We Fereldans have proven that we will never truly be conquered so long as we are united. We must not let ourselves be divided now. Stand with me, and we shall defeat even the Blight itself!
Southreach stands with the Grey Wardens.
Waking Sea stands with the Grey Warden.
Dragon's Peak supports the Warden!
Western Hills is with you, Loghain. Maker help us.
I stand by Loghain. We've no hope of victory otherwise.
I stand with the Warden. The Blight is coming. We need the Grey Wardens.
Traitors! Which of you stood against the Orlesian Emperor when his troops flattened your fields and raped your wives? You fought with us once, Eamon. You cared about this land once. Before you got too old and fat and content to even see what you risk. None of you deserve a say in what happens here. None of you have spilled blood for this land the way I have. How dare you judge me? For Ferelden!
You will learn to fear me!
Make her use my
In the Maker's name, stop! We will have order.
Agreed. Let there be no further bloodshed in the Landsmeet.
Alistair's right to the throne is challenged. His challenger's honor is in doubt. In the past, such disputes were settled by duel. Will the Landsmeet agree?
Yes, if it will avoid further bloodshed. But it must be fought according to tradition, by strength of arms only, in single combat until one party yields. Do you accept the terms?
It is you or me the men will follow. So, let us fight for it. Prepare yourself.
Got it. Now is better than later.
I do not fear death!
Let's see some blood!
I underestimated you, Warden. I thought you were like Kaelin, a child wanting to play at war. I was wrong. There's a strength in you that I have not seen anywhere since Marek died. I yield.
Wait, there is another option. The Tairn is a warrior and general of renown. Let him be of use. Let him go through the joining. There are too few of us. It's not a matter of what we like, it's a matter of what we must do. Our duty is to slay the archdemon. We aren't judges. Kinslayers, blood mages, traitors, rebels, Carter thugs, common bandits, anyone with the skill and the mettle to take up the sword against the Darkspawn is welcome among us. There are 3 of us in all of Ferelden, and there are compelling reasons to have as many wardens on hand as possible to deal with the archdemon.
The joining itself is often fatal, is it not? If he survives, you gain a general. If not, you have your revenge. Doesn't that satisfy you?
Absolutely not. Riordan, this man abandoned our brothers and then blamed us for the deed. He hunted us down like animals. He tortured you. How can we simply forget that? Joining the Wardens is an honor, not a punishment. Name him a Warden and you cheapen us all. I will not stand next to him as a brother. I won't! Some things can't be undone or forgiven. This goes way beyond having spotless honor. We aren't talking about a minor hiccup in his past. I didn't want to be king. I still don't. But if that's what it takes to see Loghain get justice, then I'll do it. I'll take the crown.
Listen to this. Can you see how disastrous a king he'd be? Putting his own selfish desires above the needs of his country? You can't seriously support him.
You're siding with her? How could you do this to me? You, of all people. What's wrong with you? He's repeatedly tried to kill us both, and you side with him over me? I'm not. I'm perfectly lucid. I will not stand beside Loghain, and neither should you. I guess I don't have any choice, do I? I'm leaving.
I'm afraid it's not so simple as that, Alistair.
You already got what you wanted. Your murdering father gets a place amongst the Grey Wardens. What else could you want from me?
Your life, unfortunately. So long as you live, rebellions can be raised in your name. Our land cannot endure another civil war. I must call for your execution.
Did someone replace my fellow Grey Warden with a pit viper when I wasn't looking? What happened to you? Can you hear yourself? I'm going to be thrown on the pyre along with Duncan and all the others, am I? Nothing I did counts for anything?
Guards, take him away, please. And now, lords and ladies of Ferelden, there is still a blight to defeat, and armies to gather. And I appoint this man to lead us in both. We will not allow this land be further threatened by the archdemon. Gather your forces, and await the Warden's command. On the morrow, we shall begin our struggle against the greatest threat Ferelden has ever faced. And we shall triumph over it, for we are Ferelden.
You are called upon to submit yourself to the Taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden.
I understand.
So it's done. My father lives, and for good or ill, he is now a Grey Warden. Thank you for giving him the opportunity to undergo the ritual. It couldn't have been easy. I don't, to tell the truth. I am simply glad that he didn't end there in disgrace. Thank the Maker for small mercies. Arl Eamon has left for Redcliffe, and tells me that our armies have almost fully gathered there. I will be heading there myself. Bring your companions, and join us at Redcliffe Castle as soon as you are able. You have united for Ferelden, Warden. Now we face the Blight.
Yes.
Indeed.
and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. It's good that Queen Anora has been chosen to remain on the throne. She will be a good ruler, even if Tyrn Loghain is not there to guide her hand. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
As if I needed that. That looks fine indeed. That looks fine indeed. That looks fine indeed. That looks fine indeed. That's it. I've had it. If saving the surface means working for someone like you, I say let the sodding world burn. You've a real mouth on you, huh? Lift your weapon, Warden, and pay for a painless death.
Watch in horror as I rip you apart!
No, I'm done.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
I'm surprised. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. 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 I'm surprised. Thank you. Thanks. 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 I passed your test. Fate has a twisted sense of humor, it seems. I suppose you think I'm some sort of monster. More so since I survived your ritual. You keep striking at me, and I just refuse to die decently. Yes, I know. You weren't the only one disappointed by the outcome. Well, is that it? Surely you've more to say to me than that. Go on, try out all the curses and insults you know. I'll teach you some new ones if they don't suffice. Oh! Now that actually struck a glancing blow. Good work. And now what? Am I to be some trophy of your victory? The defeated enemy you drag about on a leash wherever you go? Or have you some worse fate in mind for me? Or what? You'll kill me? Go ahead. The joining was my death sentence anyway. It's hardly my fault that it failed to produce the desired result, Warden. I assure you, it's foremost on my mind. I think it's time we got to the point here. What do you want from me? My execution was all but arranged. If you'd wanted me dead, you could have had your wish at the Landsmeet. I assume, then, that you have something else in mind. Your candor, Warden, is inspiring. Let me follow your example. You and I have been adversaries for some time, and I don't expect that to change now. Despite what we each wanted, we're both here now facing the same enemy, and we can be of use to one another, however little we may enjoy that fact. I am a soldier, you know, and it has come to my attention that you've been looking to build some armies. Well, we'll see how far that gets you. We should speak no more of this at present. Time's wasting. Thanks. 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 I suppose I shouldn't be surprised at your success. You beat me. Perhaps you can do this after all. It hardly matters now. I've certainly been mistaken about you before. Do you want something? I suppose I have a moment. Hate doesn't describe it. I've seen painted, masked lords beat an old farmer to death with riding crops. To this day, I don't know why. Is that hate? I saw good, sensible men fight armored chevaliers with nothing. No weapons, no armies, not even hope of success to see the occupation end. Is that hate? The past is always with us. It's in our bones and our blood, and we wear it on our skin. You can think otherwise, but you'll never get far without it. It's odd to hear you say that. I can still see the accusations you haven't voiced hovering around you like a swarm of hornets. For what it's worth, though, thank you. In any case, there's no use discussing this. We have much work left to do. Of course. He was my friend. If he'd wanted to conquer the Fade, I would have led the charge. There are men who inspire such devotion that everyone around would lay down their lives for him. And there are men who would come and go from this world, and no one notes it. What makes them so? Your guess is as good as mine. Merrick was remarkable. That's all I can say of him. I was hunting, well, poaching, to be entirely honest, when a boy my own age came stumbling out of the woods. He was so dirty, you'd have thought he'd been dug up out of the ground. He was bloody, exhausted, and obviously being hunted. I offered to take him to my father's camp. I know a bard would make it out to be better, but it isn't a story to me. I lived it. There were no heroes or villains, no great deeds, no endings, happy or otherwise. But I've rattled on for too long already. We should get moving. He nearly did. Merrick was never one to avoid his duty, and given his preference, he would have acknowledged his son no matter the circumstance. But he had more than his honor to think of. It would have ruined Rowan, after all. She'd be reduced to a concubine in the eyes of our neighbors, and put Caelan's status as heir in question. So Merrick made the hard choice. Eamon offered to raise the boy, and that was that. Kings don't get the luxury of escaping politics. But we've been idle long enough. We should get moving. Of course. I suppose that depends on how much of the kingdom was left by then. Once the border was secure, the army would have regrouped to push back the Darkspawn in the south. It's easy to say now. When Chevaliers were massing on our doorstep, things were a little less clear. In any case, there's no use discussing this. We have much work left to do. Of course. Anora is a good queen. She has been for 5 years now. Whatever she might think, I never took power from Anora. She may have felt threatened, but I most pointedly did not remove her from the throne. In all seriousness, Anora is formidable. You should know that by now. They always have before. Few among the nobles have ever been under any illusions as to who really held power in Denerim. Anora is strong enough to endure. She may make a few mistakes along the way, but she'll survive them. But this isn't the time to discuss such things. As you wish. Anora always did have a flair for the dramatic. She could have been a bard. It took you this long to determine that? I'm surprised. Believe what you like, it makes no difference to me. Are we done, then? Of course.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Indeed.
Yes.
She'll be up and around in no time, thanks to you.
Darkspawn. Kill them all! Get 'em.
Arl Eamon sends his regards, Warden. We're trying to keep the roads clear and safe.
I'll get on it. All right, all right. It's you! The Grey Warden! Andraste's mercy that you got here when you did. I thought for sure these monsters were going to get me. Just a few hours ago, not that long after everyone was evacuated to the castle, I thought I could make it to my home and back before they got here, but it took me too long to get down here. What a relief you arrived. I didn't see anything that I'd call an archdemon. Isn't that supposed to be a big dragon? No, nothing like that. I'm going to get out of here before any more of those things arrive. Thank you again. All right.
Where to?
Won't be me!
Cross me and you shall pay!
Got it. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Let's see what you're made of!
off my back?
My lord, you're here. Thank goodness. Some did, yes, but we were able to close the gates and kill the ones in the courtyard. I was told to watch for your arrival, Warden. Your comrade Riordan arrived just ahead of the Darkspawn attack. He has urgent news for you. I should take you to the hall right away, my lord. They'll be waiting for you there.
It's a relief to see you unharmed. And you as well, Loghain.
Yes, what a pleasure to see you again.
The Darkspawn that attacked Redcliffe were relatively few in number, I'm afraid. It was assumed the Horde was marching in this direction, but that is not true.
Riordan tells us that the bulk of the Horde is in fact heading towards Denerim. They are perhaps 2 days away from the capital.
How certain are we that this is good information?
I ventured close enough to listen in, as it were. I am quite certain.
It will certainly fall without our armies, and there is no guarantee we can reach the city in time.
There is, I'm afraid, one other piece of news that is of even greater concern. The archdemon has shown itself. The dragon is at the head of the Horde.
Maker preserve us.
And we won't be able to reach Denerim within 2 days.
We must begin a forced march to the capital immediately with what we have. Denerim must be defended at all costs.
Perhaps not. But what is important is that we know where the archdemon will be. If we do not defeat the archdemon, it will not matter if Denerim is saved or the Horde defeated. And only the Grey Wardens can defeat the archdemon. That is why we must go.
Then we march. And hope the army collected here gives you the chance you need. Arl Eamon, how long before the army can set out?
By daybreak, Your Majesty.
Then give the order. The longer we delay, the longer Denerim will be at the mercy of the Horde.
This may be our only chance to face the archdemon. We could stop the Blight here before it truly starts.
I will give the orders at once, and will notify you the moment we are ready to march.
Excellent.
Then if you and Loghain could meet me before you retire, we have Grey Warden business to discuss.
I will have someone show you to your rooms. I suggest you all get some rest while you can. We will need it.
And now Denerim is under assault by the Darkspawn. The death toll will be staggering. I wish you luck, Grey Warden, for all our sakes.
And so Loghain's daughter sits on the throne. The Therin bloodline is ended. I suppose you did what you did for your own reasons, Warden, but I wish it could have turned out differently. Anora is a decent woman, but she is much like her father. I suppose we shall see exactly what that means in time. We have sent messengers to Orlais. With any luck, the Empress will send us help within a week. I think it entirely possible, however, that she has written Ferelden off as a lost cause already, and will seek to defend her empire first. Perhaps the Grey Wardens of Orlais will be able to march and reach us in time. We should not rely on their arrival, even so.
And what word have we from Orzammar? Has House Claret sent their men, or haven't they?
They're stalling, which is as good as a no. House Claret's feud with House Romald has flared up again since their son died in that Deep Roads business. So naturally they're pleading the need for self-defense.
Fine time to start with that nonsense again. I've half a mind to... Evening to you, Grey Warden. I didn't realize you were still up and about. Nothing that can be dealt with now, I'm afraid. Just one of the houses being thicker than the stone that made them.
Once all of this blight business is done, there will be a reckoning in the Assembly.
They're probably half hoping we'll all wind up dead. That way they'll have one of the strongest forces left in Orzammar.
Enough to face the Darkspawn all on their own, I suppose? That's exactly the kind of half-arsed thinking that got us into the mess after Endrin passed.
It was our good fortune that you decided to go to Orzammar when you did, Grey Warden. For all that a surfacer needed our help, I expect we needed yours more. Resting? Who can rest after the march we had just getting here? You tall races have it so easy.
That and we're kept up thinking about the coming battle.
Are things truly that desperate? Do we stand a chance of losing? Now there's a reason to get drunk, if ever I heard one.
Right. Off to camp with both of you, and keep the drunkenness to a minimum. We've a long way to go yet. Pleasant evening to you, Grey Warden, and good fortune on the field of battle.
It is strange to be so far from the forest that created me, Grey Warden. Here I do not feel the ebb and flow of the trees and the earth. It is silent. And yet in that silence I feel the battle that is to come. And instead, I should send all my children off to battle? I should wait alone in the ruins, counting the dead as I feel their cries within me? No. We are approaching a great and terrible force, these Darkspawn. They are a force of nature themselves, like locusts descending upon the field. And there is one amongst them, a mighty dragon who flies at the center of this horde. It is he that you seek, yes, like an arrow flying towards its target. That is the one. He knows you come, Grey Warden. He bellows his challenge at you even now, daring you to approach, daring all of us. I can think of this no further. I do not wish to hear its roar in my heart, lest my courage waver. I am sorry.
Good evening, my lord. It is an honor to meet you. We are concerned that Darkspawn assassins might be sent into the camp to harm you or the Queen, or even Lord Loghain. No doubt you could defend yourself from such an attack, but we would prefer you to rest easy, for a few hours at least. There was some groaning after the men received word about the coming race to Denerim tomorrow, but nothing serious. I think many are uneasy about facing the Great Horde. We will be outnumbered, it is said, but we have no choice. There are thousands of innocents in Denerim. My own family is there. Of course, my lord. My duty comes first. I am not certain. On one hand, I yearn for the capital to be defended. There are so many lives at stake. But it feels as if we are rushing to our doom. Do you truly feel that we have a chance of winning? I hope you are right. I will pray for it. Of course, my lord. Good luck to you.
I'll get on it.
Fancy meeting you here. I heard rumours that Redcliffe was once again open for business, but my word, isn't this amazing? Such bustle. The Arl has kindly offered my son and I lodgings in exchange for supplies. I'm happy to help him. And you too, of course. If you have need of my wares, you have but to ask. It's not just Darkspawn in the Horde, you know that? There are people with them, Folks who are sick with the blight, and their minds are all twisted and mad. I heard tell of a man meeting his own brother on the field, yet when he called out to him, his brother didn't even recognize him and just attacked.
Father,
Anora?
we will need to talk, now that you've survived.
I would give it some time, my dear. That may sort itself out very soon after all.
Don't wait too long, then.
You are the Queen. Do as you were meant to. Nothing could please me more. Let's see what this Riordan has to say.
All right, all right.
You're both here. Good. You're new to the Grey Wardens, and you may not have been told how an archdemon is slain. I need to know if that is so.
It is indeed. I, for one, am most intrigued to hear this.
So it is true. Duncan had not yet told you. I had simply assumed. Tell me, have you ever wondered why the Grey Wardens are needed to defeat the Darkspawn? That is exactly what it involves. The archdemon may be slain, as any other Darkspawn, but should any other than a Grey Warden do the slaying, it will not be enough. The essence of the beast will pass through the taint to the nearest Darkspawn and will be reborn anew in that body. The dragon is thus all but immortal. But if the archdemon is slain by a Grey Warden, its essence travels into the Grey Warden instead. A Darkspawn is an empty, soulless vessel, but a Grey Warden is not. The essence of the archdemon is destroyed, and so is the Grey Warden.
The Grey Warden that kills the archdemon perishes.
Yes. Without the archdemon, the blight ends. It is the only way. We keep it secret for the same reason the joining is kept secret. Who would become a Grey Warden if they knew the end that might await them? And yet there must be Grey Wardens. Without us, there is no hope. In Blight's past, when the time came, the eldest of the Grey Wardens would decide which amongst them would take that final blow. If possible, the final blow should be mine to make. I am the eldest, and the taint will not spare me much longer. But if I fail, the deed falls to one of you.
I will make that blow then, if you cannot. I'm so glad you approve.
If we do not stop the blight here and now, it will destroy all of Ferelden before the Grey Wardens elsewhere can assemble. Remember that. But enough. There will be much to do tomorrow and little enough time to rest before it. I will let you return to your rooms.
Then this will be dealt with soon. One way or the other.
So it will. Let us hope it ends for the better. You should get some sleep before morning. There will be much to do when the army marches.
Do not be alarmed. It is only I. Quite the opposite, in fact. I have a plan, you see. A way out. The loop in your hole. I know what happens when the archdemon dies. I know a Grey Warden must be sacrificed, and that sacrifice could be you. I have come to tell you that this does not need to be. It was necessary that I wait and be sure. Now I am. Now we speak in private, where no others can hear. I offer a way out. A way out for all the Grey Wardens, that there need be no sacrifice. A ritual, performed on the eve of battle, in the dark of night. Perhaps, but that price need not be so unbearable, especially if there is much to be gained. All I ask is that you listen to what I have to offer, nothing more. What I propose is this. Lay with me, here tonight, and from our joining, a child will be conceived. The child will bear the taint, and when the archdemon is slain, its essence will seek the child like a beacon. At this early stage, the child can absorb that essence and not perish. The archdemon is still destroyed with no Grey Warden dying in the process. Think about what I offer you. The chance to avoid death. Or better yet, the chance to slay the archdemon and live as a hero. No Grey Warden has ever done this. In return, I conceive a child. One who will be born with the soul of an old god. After this is done, you allow me to walk away. And you do not follow. Ever. The child will be mine to raise as I wish. This is what my mother intended when she sent me with you. She was the one who first gave me this ritual and told me of what I was meant to do. This does not surprise you, does it? Did you not wonder why Flemeth saved your life? Why she aided you? This is why. What is important is that I am offering this to you now. It will work, and it will save your life. Caring for you, as I've come to? That was not part of the plan. But I cannot let what I feel interfere with what I must do. This is important to me. The fact that it may save your life makes me all the more determined to see it done. Please, do not cloud the issue. If you feel anything for me, then accept that it will make what we must do that much easier. After the archdemon has been slain? No. No, you will never see me again. Refuse my offer, however, and I leave now. This is simply how it must be. As you wish. Allow me to say that what I seek is the essence of the old god that once was, and not the dark forces that corrupted it. Some things are worth preserving in this world. Make of that what you will. I do not wish to tell you. The child will represent freedom. For an ancient power, a chance to be reborn apart from the taint. Is that not reason enough to do it? I will raise the child apart from the rest of society and teach it to respect that from which it came. Beyond that, you need know nothing else. No, you never will. This is all I ask in return for freeing you from the burden the Grey Wardens have placed upon you. Ignoring that after but one night it could barely be called a child, no, it will not be hurt. It will be changed. Then you have decided? Consider the possibility that Riordan may not be there to make the final blow as he plans. What then? Do you run away? Do you let Loghain take the blow instead? Allow him to die a hero and overshadow you? And what if he does not make it to the archdemon? I am glad to make this offer to you after all we have meant to each other. Certainly the act of laying together is not such a burden. I see. There is, of course, another option. I speak, of course, of Loghain. He is now a Grey Warden just as you are, and would also suffice for the ritual. The trick, of course, would be to get him to comply. To me, he would not listen, but to you, I think he just might. Do not let your foolish pride condemn you. No Grey Warden asked for the sacrifice that is now demanded of them, and I offer all of you a way out. Will you not reconsider? Then you are a fool! I will not stand by and watch you waste this opportunity. Die if you feel it is worthwhile, or be overshadowed. I care not. Is that so? Now you'll never have that chance. Fare you well, my love. Should you live past the morrow, I trust it will only be with regret.